How bad is it? They said, Mr. Trump, you have no idea.
Trump may have done the impossible. That is, bring together an even more dim-witted collection of humps than himself. But he did.
My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
This is Mike Waltz, the national security advisor, who sent the text of a classified military operation to Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of Atlantic, as well as to a collection of the least qualified, warm-blooded morons to ever wear a suit. And as you might expect, these feckless shit monkeys can't even admit they foobarred the whole thing.
My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
But how did the
execute,
number? I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
Make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
What the hell did you just say?
So wait a second. He's now saying that his screw-up, putting Goldberg on the text with classified war plans, is Goldberg's fault? Can any of these sad little cockwaffles ever admit they're wrong?
It is bizarre. And he's a, sleazebag, but at the highest level.
Yeah.
His magazine is failing. It's going to be out of business soon, in my opinion. It's bad. It's too bad we give it a little boost like this. But somebody in my group either screwed up or it's a bad signal. It's a bad signal, happens too. But
this is so classic Senior Man titties. And if you missed the news today, Trump called for yet another economic wrecking tariff just to distract us from yet another Trumpian fustercluck.
Leaders of some of America's biggest trading partners, said another way, some of America's closest allies, are reacting and preparing to retaliate this morning, now after President Trump announced 25% tariffs coming next week on all cars shipped to the United States.
But the real question is this: how perilous a position are we now in with this group texting classified war plans that apparently Trump didn't even know about?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of the Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it.
As I also stated yesterday, nobody's texting war plans.
Yes, they were classified, you drunk clown. And if by chance you're right, they weren't classified, you're describing the times, the weapons, the goals, all while identifying the officials. And of course, according to your mom, you're an alcoholic who beats women. So your credibility is awesome. I mean, compared to like P. Diddy.
Penelope Hegseth wrote, "On behalf of all the women, and I know it's many, you have abused in some way, I say get some help and take an honest look at yourself."
And of course, Pete, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, has Fox News covering his back.
This guy, Jimmy Gomez, who should wake up embarrassed this morning because he took his time to tar and attack Pete Hegseth on something totally unsubstantiated. Listen.
You know whether Pete Hegseth had been drinking before he leaked classified information?
I don't have any knowledge of Secretary Hegseth's personal habits.
Wait a second. You're the director of national intelligence. Shouldn't you have some idea of the personal habits of the Secretary of Defense? I mean, it's on the record. He held a woman against her will in a hotel room, then paid her off to keep quiet. And there's a dozen former Fox employees who smelled booze on him at work. If you don't know his personal habits, then who would?
Yes or no?
No. I'm going to answer that. I think that's an offensive line of questioning. The answer is no. I find it interesting that you want to. I'm going to answer. You asked me a question. Do you want an answer?
No, listen.
You don't want to focus on the good work that the CIA is doing. Was his performance compromised because of
the good work that the CIA is doing?
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state.
It's your boss, this pustulant skin tag, that refers to the CIA as the deep state. So shut your gaping hole, you swampy hack.
These people are crazy. I mean, trying to create a moment. He looks terrible right there. There's no evidence to suggest that. By the way, the secretary has been open and transparent about him turning his life around, and he doesn't drink anymore. As a matter of fact, I was down there reporting in Texas. He was there, and I forgot all about it. And I said, we got to catch up over beers. And he was like, dude, I seriously don't drink anymore. So I just think it's terrible. Also, this is the party that has defended Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden isn't the Secretary of Defense, you dull-minded ass kisser. But go on.
A drug addict, and defended him and said, don't attack people during their recovery. But now you want to go after the secretary where there's no evidence.
Well, you know what's interesting about the line of questioning from that particular Democrat member of Congress is it seems like they have based their questioning of a high-ranking government official on something that they've spotted online or on social media, because there was an image of Pete Hegseth drinking out of a glass, and it appeared to be like a dark liquid. It was a glass of water. It was an optical illusion. But instead of asking, hey, what was he drinking? They did it that way.
And also, how about the congressman saying, I'm reclaiming my time the second the CIA director starts to answer? That's not how it works. He needs to respond to the question. And then John Ratcliffe just actually absolutely took the congressman down. And you almost hate to defend the defense secretary from this line of questioning because you don't even want to add legitimacy to this because it's so ridiculous.
You guys make me laugh. Hunter Biden was never an elected official, and every charge that Comer and Jordan made was refuted, and refuted by you guys.
With all due respect, the Republicans need better investigators.
Biden was never accused of attacking women and holding them against their will, and backed up by his mom. Hegseth f***ed up. He texted operational plans that could have killed Americans. But you ass-kissing humps would rather defend your malignant sociopath than defend our troops?
But this was an authorized use platform, a platform that the Biden administration used as well. And when the CIA director testified on Tuesday, he said the first thing that happened when I was sworn in as CIA director is that signal was uploaded to my computer.
It was right there.
So the use of the platform has been something that has happened for years. And now there will be a relook at maybe it shouldn't happen again. But it's not like they did anything wrong.
Their passwords were online for anyone to see. Signal only works if you're not stupid enough to get hacked and then send out war plans, you twat.
And a lot is being focused now on what could have happened than what did happen, when what was shown in those messages is that the defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, organized a successful strike that took down terrorists.
I would just do the Brit Hume axiom, move on. You know, if something evolves, you do it, you move on, but there's so many other people in that press room. And I would say this, Lawrence, I think you know this. He never had a drinking problem. There were times where he drank too much. They drank too much.
But he just gave it up.
Right.
Completely.
But he just totally. So there were no misspellings in that exchange. There was nothing that was bizarre. It was extremely official.
Wait, you're saying he wasn't drunk because there were no misspellings? How low is your bar for this guy? Brian, just because you can't spell sexy when you drunk text your old girlfriends doesn't mean your hero can't.
Move on.
Of course Fox and Trump want us to move on. And Trump might invade Greenland just to distract us. But the truth is this. The whole world is amazed at how quickly the U.S. has descended from a country that respected its diversity and encouraged dissent to a nation that now has masked thugs with no ID grabbing people off the street.
This is the moment Tufts University graduate student Rumeysa Ozturk was arrested and taken into federal custody. Doorbell camera footage obtained by NBC News shows two plainclothes officers approaching the 30-year-old in Somerville outside of Boston. Ozturk at first appears to back away before more agents approach, one eventually taking her phone out of her hand. Officers then take her backpack off, handcuff her, and lead her across the street to a car. An onlooker heard questioning why the officers' faces are covered.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Pete Hegseth is like every drunk I've ever known. So somebody please take his keys and probably his iPhone too.
What do we take away from this? Are your leaders incompetent, unqualified people compromising national security?
Yes, 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 yes.
Goddamn right.
It's not fair.
They had what?
Bloated and fat and disgusting.
I like that.
We're a nation that speaks English.
Look, if something like this, that thing's goggling.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.